No, it's not. There we go. Hey. Sorry, I was just getting everything set up. It's just me. I'm very tired today. I haven't gotten it. I didn't sleep well last night. But, you know, whatever. It do be like that. We're here. I'm just grabbing the last little bit of things we're going to look at today. Excuse me. Where is it? Where are you? Don't tell me you took your video down already. That might be the case. That very well might be the case. Give me a minute. Let's see. Ah, different channel. Let's try this. Ah, found it. Yo, okay. So there's Vic Mignogna news. We're long and short of it is that the new filing came out. Ta-da! Oh, I forgot to put chat on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I'm having a day. Sleep is a limited resource. Yeah, I keep hearing this alleged idea that there's actually only so much sleep on the planet, and because there's too many people now, the amount of sleep that is available for everybody is stretched too thin. Brain, hello. I'm just getting chat up on the screen for you guys. Uno momento. It's just gonna take me out. Oh, shut up, me. Why are we looking at this? There we go. Hey. Pop out the chat. Thank you. Boop. Got that link. Wonderful. Fantastic. This is what I get when I don't do, like, too much of the production work ahead of time, and I just do everything from scratch. Well. Yo. We do be like that. Nope. 600 by 800. There we go. Wonderful. Lovely. Let's get chat. Doop, ba-doop. Hey, there you are. Cool. Nice. Ta-da. Alright, well, we'll make that a little bit nicer. It's kind of... Sorry, I made you guys a little bit fugly. First off, we're going to switch to... No. We're going to switch to live chat. And then we're going to do a color key, and we're just going to fade this a little bit. Cool. And then we're going to go back to here, and we're going to do this. Ugh. You know, part of this is just me not feeling like I can be bothered to care about Vic Mignogna's stupid shit anymore. Ugh. Ugh, sorry, I'm just gonna crack my back. There we go. Okay, hi. Hello. Alright. Start this, just pretend all of the first 5 minutes of the stream didn't happen. It was fake. We played pretend. That wasn't real. We start now. The stream officially starts now. So there's been some Vic Mignogna updates last week, and so there's an agreement and a final judgment that came out for part of the amount owed, like the restitution or like how much money. And I do find that a little bit ironically funny, because there was a guy who decided to come into my stupid comment section under mine and Generic Minorities chat about Vic Mignogna's fans, who was just like, oh, well, where's that court document that's supposedly happening, as if it wasn't happening. Well, it's right here. You're welcome. Here you go. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're expecting. It's... Court takes time. It's a long and arduous process, but you know, here we go. Dipshit, whoever you were. I don't remember who it was because I can't be bothered, but fuck off. So Vic Mignogna plaintiff. This is case number 141-307-474-19. Funimation Productions LLC, Monica Rial, Ronald, and Jamie Marshy. Agreed final judgment. On this day, the court considers the parties' request for entry of this agreed final judgment in resolution of the remaining issues concerning attorney's fees in dispute in this lawsuit. As a result, the court finds that this agreed final judgment should be entered. Accordingly, it is ordered, adjudged, and decreed that defendants Monica Real and Ronald shall have and recover from Vic Mignogna, plaintiff, the amount of $270,963.04, representing Real and, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Is it Toei? Is it Toei? Reasonable and necessary attorney's fees, plus an amount of $15,526.96. Oh, hey, that 6 cents plus the 4 cents rounds up to an extra $1. There you go. Representing their litigation expenses in defense of this matter through November 21st, 2019. Real and Toei shall also have and recover from plaintiff Vic Mignogna $22,602.93, representing interest occurred on the previous amounts awarded in this matter. Real and Toei shall also have and recover from plaintiff Vic Mignogna $67,500, representing contingent appellate fees previously awarded in this matter. It is fully ordered all amounts awarded in this final judgment shall bear post-judgment interest at a rate of 18% per annum for the date of this final judgment until the date this final judgment is paid in full. 18%. It is further ordered that all rights and process necessary for enforcement of collection of this judgment or the costs of court may issue as are necessary. All other relief requests and not expressly granted herein is hereby denied. The judgment finally deposes all parties and all claims and is appealable. So, and that's just signing, everybody signing and emails and blah 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 blah. So that way everybody gets what they need to get. So so here's the thing, right? The last time we looked at the court orders coming from this, the last time we looked at the court order coming from this, it was to get a submission from Vic Mignogna, a motion to force him to disclose all of like the money and assets that he had access to 5 years ago, 7 years ago, right? Depending on which one you were looking at. Hey, good to see you. So, the total number is, it's 18% interest. If we grab a calculator, we've got, let me put this somewhere you guys can see it. Is that good? Yeah, that's fine. We got $270,963.04 plus $15,526.96 plus $22,602 and 93 cents plus $67,500 for a total of just under $4,000 at an 18% interest rate. Oh my god. And this does not include, this is only 2 of them. There are 4 people here. There's Funimation Productions, there's Monica Real and Ronald, right? And so these 2 are the only 2 that are covered in this one. Jamie's and Funimation LLC have not come through. I don't know if there's going to be one for Funimation, but Jamie will definitely have one. So we're looking at well over I would guess 500. 400K. Yep. 400K. I would suspect to see this go to, because if I'm not mistaken, again, don't quote me on this one, if I'm not mistaken, there's already a 100K judgment. That's how this one blew up, right? This one was also 100K, and then they decided to appeal it. Apparently, this does say at the bottom that it is appealable, so I guess we'll see, right? All claim and is appealable. This judgment finally deposes all parties and all claims and is appealable. So this could be appealed. He could try. Vic Mignogna could attempt to appeal this again if he wanted to. So yeah, if Jamie is still owed around 120K, yeah, we're looking at well over 5K, and that's assuming that. And her hearing's tomorrow morning. See, I heard that, but I wasn't 100% sure. So yeah, we're gonna find out. There's gonna be another big bomb of money dropped on his head, and this is the thing. You fuck around, you find out. Court isn't a joke. Get a lawyer. And get a lawyer who knows what they're doing, for fuck's sakes, because this fucking guy... this was Vic Mignogna's lawyer. He also proceeded to remove... If you can... hold on, let me open this in a new tab so you guys can see it a little better. So... Ty Beard is the founder of senior partner of Beard, Harris, Bullock, Hughes... Yeah, Bullock's right. Originally a solo attorney, Ty decided he wanted to work with the most skilled lawyers he could find. The result was the Beard Harris, whatever the fuck. Ty practices defamation, tortious interference, business litigation, business transactions, and advanced estate planning. Now, if I recall, originally when I looked this up, he was an estates lawyer. He didn't have all this. And what did he do after this came out? He's changed it and upgraded it and has completely removed everything related to defamation and... Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Because this is signed off, right here, you can see that it's signed off by Vic, right? Approved as a form of substance, as Vic has signed off on it, which means that even if he did try to change his mind and appeal it, he's already agreed to it, so I don't imagine that would go very well, but I can't make that assessment based on how absolutely and utterly stupid he's been in court thus far, so I don't like... I have a hard time being like, well, he signed off on it and agreed to it, so clearly he'll stick by his word and not appeal it. I could see him trying to do a terrible attempt to appeal. So yeah, hopefully, with any luck, he won't. With any luck, he will not, because he did sign and agree. But yeah, Ty Beard has decided to go into hiding, has decided to remove anything in relation to this from his socials or the way he presents himself as a lawyer. And there was one other thing. This was funded a lot by Rakita Law, and if you don't know who Rakita Law is, he's a YouTube lawyer. And he he started the GoFundMe to hire his buddy Ty Beard, and me and Manya went looking and asking him for receipts back then. And Manya actually shared with me her messages that she had sent. Both publicly and privately. So you can see here, open link. Ta-da! So you can see here, why is this screenshot so trash? She sent him his the tweets that she had requested, asking for information. Wondering if you had any feedback. Hi, Rakita Law. We covered the Vic Mignogna versus Funimation case. Can you please point to where we might find receipts for the lawyer? Yeah, there has not been. That GoFundMe raised God knows how much money. And could not... No receipts have been posted. There's no, tracking of this. Vic Mignogna claims, he was asked in an interview a while ago, during the hearings, he claimed that he'd never seen any of that money because it went straight into lawyer fees. So... He hasn't, and Vicpocracy, meanwhile, Nick Rakita has said nothing about this final judgment. Yeah, it's a big old yikes. So, when you come to a defamation case with arguments of, but, Your Honor, my client isn't literally a piece of shit, as if that's a viable fucking thing. way to just be blown up out of fucking proportion and drag people through court for literal years. But I mean, we're watching that unfold right now. We're watching people fucking around and in the court and trying to weaponize the court system and thinking that it's going to work out for them. And it's not. It's not going to go well. You don't fuck around with the court because the court doesn't care about your fucking how you look to the internet. Like, the court's not going to give a shit. The court's going to look at the facts of the matter, and the problem is you attempting to spin it to make it look however you want it to look, it isn't going to affect how the court or the judge is going to view the facts of the matter in the case. Spinning in court needs to be done by professionals, which is lawyers who know how to make the argument, not fucking these clowns. Anyway, so Vic Mignogna's response to this, was this thing that he started. I don't know when he started doing this, but he's calling it victory. And I'm like, bro, or how desperate can you be? And the answer is yes. All the desperate. Every desperate possible. So I'm gonna play you. This was the one that came out, if I'm not mistaken, February 4th, yes, which was when when this came through. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. So let's give this a listen, shall we?
Good morning, everybody. Okay, I want to give you fair warning. This one's going to go a little longer than normal. I read the other day about David, and that when Samuel in the Old Testament was searching for a new king, he was looking for all of the most powerful, athletic leaders and impressive people, and he comes across this shepherd boy. And even though he doesn't seem to have any big, huge, admirable qualities like we would consider, the Bible calls him a man after God's own heart. And he became, obviously, king of Israel. And it made me start thinking, the Bible is full of God using underdogs. He always picks people that nobody else would pick. They don't have what it takes, or they don't seem to have the goods. But God sees deeper. And the greatest compliment that anyone could ever pay you would not be that you're a great singer, or that you're a great actor, or that you're a great, successful businessman. The greatest compliment you could ever receive would be that somebody sees God in you, that they sense His Spirit and His presence and His kindness and His mercy in you. That is what I hope for my life, and it is certainly what I hope for yours as well.
Listen, asshole. The underdog is somebody who starts their story from the bottom, not lording their power over everybody else to take advantage of it and do whatever the fuck they want, and then fucking falls from that position. The underdog, you're not the underdog of the story, dude. As much as you might think that you are, as much as you might want to present to your audience that you're the victim here, you took them to court. Not the other way around. You were the one bothering people, and people wanted you to go away. You were the one with the big fan base. You were the one with all of the protection. You were the one who had a GoFundMe that had shitloads of money in it. It was your fight to lose. Meaning you were not the underdog. Stop LARPing. Oh my god. How are you serious? You're not a real person. I can't believe this man is a real person anymore at this point. Oh my god. And I understand that this is not his direct response to what happened in court, but it kind of is though. He's trying to reframe himself from being this guy who's on top, who I'm just a victim who needs your support, to framing himself as somebody who's the underdog of this story, that even if I have this fall from grace, even if I'm not, now I'm the underdog because I've lost. Now he's just trying to readjust himself. And it's one thing, again, I understand it's not a direct response, but all of these are the same kind of thing. He's gonna recommend books to us. A daily word for men. Yeah. Unironically, sure. Yeah, no problem. Speaking kindness. Oh my god. Weakness is strength. This is cope. That's what this is. This is cope. This is like I'm going back to my roots as a preacher to not deal with or address the consequences of my actions. That's what this is. This is a straight cope. And like you see this with fucking fraudy bullshitters all the time. They go and they hide in the church. They go and have a redemption and a come to God moment and then be like, "Look, I'm such a changed person. Look at all this kindness and shit that I'm espousing now." Cuz that's now the only thing that I talk about because I can't dare to fucking deal with real life. And then it turns into like it's like how long does it last until the cycle begins again where they're back in a position where they feel like they can take advantage of shit. This is predatory bullshit. It's always been predatory bullshit. It always will be predatory bullshit. Does that mean everybody in the church is a predator? No, because there are the people who are there earnestly, and you'll see that by the fruits of their life. Right? You'll see that by what happens in their life. You'll see that not by coincidence and not by people attacking them, their behavior and how they handle it. You're going to see the same thing with Vic Mignogna. This is the shit that I told him to do 2 years ago. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to get off the internet and you need to go back to your church and go hang out there for a little while, learn something about yourself, maybe even change, and then make a comeback. Unfortunately, he's not gonna do the first half of that, which is get the fuck off the internet. Dude, for the love of God, hire a PR person. So, this is the way, again, this is just my opinion. It looks like one of the side characters from Golden Girls. Does he have to do it while wearing a robe? Yes, because it's performative. What he's doing is performative. He's not actually espousing kindness. What he's actually doing is being like, look, I'm putting on this air of being such a good person, talking about how everybody should be nice to each other, while fucking sitting like look at this.
Okay, guys, I just read something.
Look at his background. Look at like the way he's got this framed. Look at like his loungewear. This fucker wants to be like Hugh Hefner mixed with like, look at how much of a nerd I am. Oh my god, don't you guys get along with me? Oh, look at how like nice my place is and where I live is. It's performative. It's performative. Ridiculous. Well, if Jamie needs a PR person, tell her to reach out to me. I'll help her out. I'm good at that shit. Josh is stealing my jokes. I will steal your jokes all day, every day. I wonder if the person who's filming him is his girlfriend or his roommate Jeff. Yeah, that's a good question because like, that is a good question. Who's doing the filming for him? He's living with somebody who's helping him out. Good question. All right, so we got one more thing to look at because we looked at Vic Mignogna fans before, and we took a look at Fat Man in the past, and so we're gonna. He decided to come out with this one, and I was really curious. Somebody sent me this video, a screenshot that this video happened. It's titled "The End to the Drama." Vic Mignogna came out on top. The anime community will never be the same. Came out on top. That is actually what that says.
Batman
came out on top. How in the flying fuck do you end up with what's looking to be over 500K in debt to the people you tried to sue in court is coming out on top? In what world? But you know what? Let's see what the video says. Maybe he's got an argument. Let's settle in. Woo! It's gonna be good.
You dingus? Whatever he said.
Boy, Fat Man, welcome back to the channel. It's 2024, baby. And this comment came up in one of my old videos. And this person basically asked, hey, Fat Man, will you be making any 2024 videos about Vic Mignogna? Honestly,
The empty room behind him is... Hey, listen, maybe he's got a studio that's in the works. I don't know what I'm looking at, but so I'm not gonna I don't want to pick on that. I just noticed it. Got my attention. Sorry.
I'm not a Vic Mignogna like post channel, but I do post about some of the stuff that's interested me, and I'd be like, oh look, Vic Mignogna's striking back. He's coming back. He's gonna sue these people. And honestly, if I was him, go ahead, sue my nigga. If you have something to sue for. But he still is working. Stuff that people have said has kind of fucked with his career, and he ain't working with the big companies anymore, which that's something that stops you from making the actual good money. But he is also...
I'm gonna pause you right there. It wasn't the things people said that wrecked his career. It was the things he said that wrecked his career. He's responsible. Stop blaming other people for Vic Mignogna being a dumbass. It's own his dumbass. Oh, please read that. Oh, is there something in the description? All right. What's new in the world of entertainment? Let's find... like money find? Are you... Find out Shellwell? If you're joining my channel, I talk about movies and will review video games and talk about video game breakdown. Trailer is react to trailers, big poetry, and sometimes make music and beats, play awesome video games, or talk about us video games. Welcome to my channel. My name is Fat Man. Did you want? I'm happy to have you part of the hungry family, so if you're willing to watch him or you smile and laugh and feel weird, I'm your guy. Make sure you click subscribe, like, share, and show your love. Shellwell, everyone. Shellwell. Okay. Shellwell. Can we keep that? Can we keep Shellwell? Is there a well emoji? Like, I know there's a shell one, right? Shell? Yeah, shell. Is there like a well that you would fall in? Like a water well? Damn. Alright, well, Shellwell it is. I'll see if I can make a well one and we can just do Shellwell. Brother. Alright. I do like Shellwell. I hope it stays. Why is this guy just mirror universe generic minority? Man, I don't know, dude.
Also working with a studio, I found out, so yeah. So, here's a YouTuber, and this video came across my airwaves a long time ago when I was going at it with somebody. And I really wanted to react to this, but I did not get a chance. So, when you're watching this, hope you guys enjoy.
Oh, he's reacting to somebody.
Welcome to 2024 and a new reaction video. So let's get it started.
Oh, good.
Let's get it.
Yo, what's up guys, Bimmer here. Like I promised myself almost 2 years ago, I wasn't going to touch this topic until it was officially over. And as of August 22nd, it ended. Vic Mignogna lost his defamation lawsuit against Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Ron Toye, and Funimation. Has a pending $27,000 attorneys and sanctions fee, and everyone in Kick Vic that took part in this 3-year-long online smear campaign got away with it. I'm just gonna assume that everyone that clicked on this video is either from these two groups, curious bystanders looking for context.
Wait, is he reacting to somebody who agrees with him?
Or wanting in on the drama. For me, this video is closure. For 3 years.
It went on for a while, right? It went on for a while. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna interject here because we still have to add commentary to something. We're not just watching this nigga's content. A year of fucking bullshit to deal with as just, number one, anime fans. Number one, if you're just an anime person. Number two, this is the most, think about it, from where I'm sitting as like an anime person, this is the most hype, the most dramatized shit that has ever come out of the anime industry. You gotta think about it. This is it.
The most hype that has ever come out from the anime industry. He's watching somebody who agrees with him, it seems, because the person in the video he's responding to said generic. Yeah, no, they also agree with each other apparently, because the guy he's responding to, I guess he couldn't handle dealing with anybody who doesn't agree with him after trying to deal with me and failing miserably. Oh, brother. They wouldn't have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for that meddling internet. I don't know.
This is the most dramatized shit that has ever come out of the anime industry. Nothing else beats this shit. Nothing. Nothing else beats this. Because, one, it's about a voice actor, about a whole bunch of other people, accusations that none of us can prove, accusations that they can't even prove, and a whole bunch of shit that just comes out about the actor that you're like, whoa, who is this guy? And then when he doesn't respond for a while, and then...
But the ladies are also voice actors and people in the industry. Like, the other people involved. One of them he sued Funimation. What do you fucking mean? Like, why are you presenting as if it was Vic Mignogna, who's like the big dog, versus a bunch of randoms? Which is just not the case. These people aren't random people making these accusations, right? Like, and it's not them going after him. These weren't criminal allegations. These were them putting out information and then Vic Mignogna suing them for defamation. Why do these people always feel like they have to misrepresent the entirety of, like, just the core elements of the situation? It's almost like it's dishonest, weird, odd.
And when he finally makes a response, it's the most cool-cutted response ever.
What finally? What was the delay in Vic Mignogna's response? I don't recall there being a delay. I recall them going at each other, like kind of like shooting from the hip a little bit, back and forth, until it escalated into until Vic Mignogna, I should say, escalated it into him and his fans. Oh, I got a floof in my glasses.
He apologizes if he's hurt anybody. They came out on Twitter. He's like, listen, if I hurt anybody or whatever's happening, people are telling me I'm too touchy with fans, blah, blah, blah. Then another response comes out from Monica Rial with some bullshit. It's like, it's not about the fans. He did this to me, sexually assaulted me. Everybody's like, whoa, you got proof?
Sir, your bias and misogyny are showing.
Proof about this? Proof? I don't need proof. And then it just becomes like a what the fuck is going on? What are you talking about? People obviously don't know what happens on behind the scenes, right? And to put it this way, I think
we don't need what has happened behind the scenes. For years I granted and was just like, okay, sure, let's hypothetically, let's just go with all these people are fucking lying and all of them are doing it to Vic on purpose. Vic's behavior in his response is problematic by itself. That alone. His attempt to go after young fans to try to get them to have incestual sex with him, which he admitted to, him going live on a stream with his underwear in the background and fucking pointing it out and waving it around like it fucking matters. These are not behaviors you see from both sides. You don't see this happening from the other side of the people who want to get rid of Vic Mignogna. You don't see this kind of behavior.
Vic is a diva. I think Sean Schimmel's a diva. I think all the voice actors are divas. But that don't mean they're not human, right? That don't mean they're not scum. I'm not saying Vic is scum, but we don't know. The guy could be a dickhead. But I've met the nigga in person. He doesn't seem like a bad dude. He doesn't seem like a jackass.
It's almost interesting that when you're not the target of a predator, that the predator doesn't seem bad to you. Why would Vic Mignogna seem problematic to you when you aren't the target? That's called empathy, my guy. If you can recognize when someone else is being a target and get your head out of your ass for longer than 30 fucking seconds and be like, okay, well, he's not problematic to me, therefore he's not problematic to everybody. Or therefore, oh, well, he was nice to me, therefore he must be nice to everybody. Please, chat, name the fallacy, please. The argument from ignorance. He's never been bad to me, therefore he's never been bad.
Almost to cut your throat. He seems cool. But besides that, those years was crazy, man. Was crazy. You could not tell me anything that was happening in the anime community at the point of voice actor drama was this. This was on everybody's feed. Everybody.
No, it wasn't. You're a niche. You followed it. You were engaging with it. Therefore, the algorithm was giving it to you. That's why. Did it get big? Yes. But has there been more and bigger drama in voice actor, within voice actors? Yes. Critical Role comes to mind. Laura Bailey getting threats over Last of Us comes to mind. And I don't mean the recent one, I mean the one that happened a couple years ago. Get in line. Vic is not that important.
Honestly,
delusions of grandeur.
Let's leave it there, because if I get back into this argument, I'm gonna have to start battling some cuckoo
Too
bitch.
late.
Let's go.
Hi.
I watched a man get his life ruined by a rumor which was later supported by his coworkers, then his employers fired him, then slandered and betrayed by more VAs and trolls online, only to find out that that rumor was a lie. And they used that lie as a way to use the Me Too.
Wait. Because honestly, this is where I back up, because I didn't know about this, because Vic Mignogna came to the first Anime NYC, that was 2016, 2015, 2017, something like that, and nobody was.
So is he just gonna not, this was a lie? Is there a demonstration of that? Did we see that in the thing? Dropping in to say, stop harassing my friends and colleagues. It happened to me. I had hoped it wouldn't come to this, but here we are. This was a lie. Okay, where? You heard right. Chris Sabat is very good friends with Vic's accusers. Okay. Like, none of these screenshots demonstrate anything was a lie or not. Didn't you guys say you cared about proof? Didn't you say at the beginning that it's like, oh, well, they were ridiculous for saying we don't need any proof, but here you are just saying whatever the fuck you want? Tell Elmo! What about it was fake? What about it was a lie? Where? Show, tell Elmo! And if it was a lie, how come Vic didn't demonstrate it in court, which is the thing he lost, multiple times?
This is where I back up, because
yeah.
I didn't know about this, because Vic Mignogna came to the first Anime NYC, that was 2016, 2015, 2017, something like that.
Everybody knew. Now you didn't know?
And nobody was talking shit about him. I didn't hear nothing. Like, and don't get me wrong, my ears are always to the ground in the con scene. Like, I got friends that will let me know about shit. I got people that will give me the 411. I got info. I can easily look some shit up, and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, people come to me. They'd be like, oh, who's Fat Man? He's that honest, horny, crazy motherfucker. Like, he will
Stop LARPing!
tell you to your face, I don't like you. So I never heard shit about Vic until the internet, and I'm like, but
I can't imagine why this individual would not have heard of the negative rumors around Vic Mignogna when he clearly is so far up the man's ass that he would not have heard it anyway. That even if he did, he's clearly presenting himself as not a safe person to have that type of a conversation with regardless. Right? If I was, like, attacked by somebody, or if I had an unpleasant experience with someone, I wouldn't fucking go to this guy. Would you go to this guy? Just based on how we've seen him behave? No! He is not trustworthy. He's gonna be one of those guys that, like, fucking gaslights the shit out of you, and he's like, well, how do you know that even happened to you? Because it happened 20 seconds ago and there's still bruises on my arm. What do you mean? Well, how do you know you didn't get those bruises for somebody else? Bro, fuck off. You are not a hero that women are gonna go to for protection and to share information with. You're clearly not an ally in that regard, so why would anybody talk to you? Especially about somebody he fucking already likes. He's not part of the Whisper network, right? Yeah, exactly.
This dude at a convention doing his thing.
I didn't go to conventions, and I knew.
I never heard shit about him. I never heard anybody say shit about him. You never heard nothing about nothing. So it really don't make sense. You know what I mean?
Again, back to the argument from ignorance. Just because you don't know and you didn't hear about it at the time doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that people weren't talking about it. Your personal experience does not equate to that's the way it is. You just argued that you can't have known what was going on behind closed doors, and now you're trying to tell us that you knew about everything that went on, therefore this thing isn't true. So no, absolutely fucking not. Also, again, your ignorance is a fallacy. It's not admissible. And also, weren't you complaining about hearsay last time we talked about you, and now you're basing your entire opinion about Vic Mignogna and whether or not what people had accused him of was true based on the rumor mill that you weren't a part of? Dipshit. God.
A rumor comes out of nowhere, and a lot of people say it came out of nowhere because it literally did. There was nothing backing it up. There was no evidence. Like, come on, my nigga. I'ma believe some shit, and next thing you know, I have to what? Come on.
Movement so that they can manipulate the masses as a way to falsify evidence and win both in the court of public opinion and the court of law.
Falsify evidence? Falsify... Some pretty big accusations there, boyo. You're gonna put your big boy pants on and show that? I like how I'm fucking responding to two of these people at once, because what's the point of a reaction video to something you agree with? Like, unless it's like cute and fun. Like, this is clearly not, like, they're not having fun, right?
A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. What gave this lie so much power and speed to not only damage Vic's reputation within a span of a day, but Twitter is the home base of people like this.
So just to point out real quick, you haven't established that. You haven't established it's a lie. All you've done is reiterate and restate without showing or without telling how and why it's a lie. So now you're repeating it. Right, which is a classic rhetorical tactic. For anybody who doesn't know, you repeat something enough, it becomes more believable to people who have heard it, because they're like, oh yeah, no, I heard about that. So yeah, he's just calling it a lie to undermine without ever actually addressing it or without actually showing it was a lie. He's not reading out what any of those things say. He's not saying what the lie is. He's not saying how whatever was said was a lie. He's just dismissing it on fiat, which again, a rhetorical tactic and fallacious and dishonest. So do better. If it's a lie and it's been demonstrated to be a lie, you should have no problem demonstrating it. You can't, you won't, you haven't for over 5 years, you're still going. I don't know what to tell you.
This guy, you know the type. The delusional, attention-seeking, immature, self-centered, aggressive types that use freedom of speech and dark humor as excuses to publicly slander someone. These individuals.
Now, don't get me wrong, right? Freedom of speech does not... People say, oh, freedom of speech is not freedom from consequences. Yes, you have a point. But at the same time, freedom of speech does not hold up to a lot of certain things, except for, you know, state laws, right? Wherever Vic Mignogna sued, which was what? He sued in Texas, I believe, right? Or California, wherever he shot his lawsuit at. They agreed with the public opinion of, well, this is just their opinion. And they only spoke from their opinion. They don't really have any proof either to back it up that, oh, what...
Wrong. You were so close. You started off in a not the most correct or clear, but you started tacking bullshit onto it. Listen, freedom of speech does not protect you from slanderous, defamatory, libelous statements. If you lie about people and you defame people, fraud is not protected under freedom of speech. If I take my cup here and I say it's full of magic unicorn piss water that will cure your cancer, that's not protected by freedom of speech. Even if I believe it. Especially when I start selling it to you and I say, hey, I'll send this to you for $29.99 in 3 installments. Buy magical unicorn piss water that will cure all your ailments. Even if I believe it's true. I am not protected by free speech in America for that. Free speech in America also is not it's not applicable here. If it was applicable, it would have worked or been utilized in court, and it wasn't. So then taking it to say that Vic had no case or lost his case to then say, oh, but therefore they didn't prove anything either, is asinine. They weren't required to do so. He needed to show how he was being defamed and show damages and show this, that, and the other thing. And then they had to show what they were saying was true and or a matter of opinion, or how it was, like, depending on their arguments. They succeeded. You're trying to pretend that them succeeding means they didn't succeed, and it's fucking delusional.
What you did was actually true. There's no proof of what he did was true. There isn't. Yes, there's testimonials of people saying shit, but at the end of the day, there's no actual evidence, which you believe.
You don't know what evidence is. Witness testimony is evidence in court. You might not believe the witness, but it doesn't matter. That's not up to you. That's up to the judge. That's up to corroboration between multiple places, including the things that Vic said that he did. Vic claimed he did these things. He said that he was touchy-feely. He said that he was inappropriate, but he didn't believe that it was. He said that he went after these people. He said that, like, he claimed that he did these things. What do you want anybody else to do about that? If people think he's an asshole for doing so, that's not defamation, and it's within freedom of speech. Because that is an opinion. Because an opinion is made up of you assessing information. The information is that Vic admitted to doing X, Y, and Z. People believe that Vic Mignogna's behavior is a continuous thing and indicative of things that he's done previously. And things that he's claimed that he's done previously. This isn't based off of nothing. It's not based off of lies. It's based off his fucking deposition. Like, what do you mean?
Believe that more than anything, right? We believe something we can't see. I do believe 100% that Vic shouldn't have sued unless he had backup info in his pocket. But at the same time, shit happens. And he was already crucified in public opinion.
So it's fine if Vic does it, but it's not okay if anybody else does it. Vic is allowed to fire from the hip and misfire from the hip and blow his own fucking balls off, but nobody else is allowed to fucking do anything. Even when they win. What is wrong with you? How much copium have you huffed? Buddy. Friend, guy, please. What the fuck?
Sorry, nigga, I can sit in this chair right now and tell you this man was already dead before he went to court. Just because.
There's just one chair in the middle of an empty room with a poster on the floor. I love that's my kind of meme right there. Yes. Alright, I'm sorry.
Just because he was cooked online. There was nothing holding this man back but being cooked online. Once that happens,
that's not true. He lost his contracts with Funimation because of an internal investigation. So, no. His PR was terrible because his public behavior is terrible, which is a continuation of the initial complaint. So you're agreeing with me at that point. You're like, yeah, he was cooked publicly. Yeah, because of his behavior. Oh,
it was done. You're fucking done. What are you gonna do? You're gonna argue with niggas? You're gonna really argue with it? He's like Sneeko right now. You're getting cut.
Bro, PR is a thing. Hire a PR agent. Hire somebody who knows what they're doing and how to navigate unfortunate online Find somebody who knows how to navigate a boat through a shitstorm. You don't know how to do it. Vic doesn't know how to do it. Nobody around Vic that he's listening to knows how to do it. So find somebody who does.
In the corner. Sit in the chair, boy.
Individuals don't care who they hurt or what may become of you or the people around you. Why would they? They seek validation. If an irrelevant hater can't get your attention the normal way,
I forgot that the guy that he's watching is trying to do psychoanalysis of people who just don't like Vic Mignogna because he's kind of an asshole. This is quite the psychoanalysis based on a handful of tweets that he showed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed at the extrapolation here.
negatively impacting your life no matter how small their role was is enough to satisfy them. Monica and Jamie knew this, and the timing was perfect. While all these Kubos were busy slandering, making up stories with zero evidence, and using the situation as a way to gain pity points from the equally ignorant.
Then why did Vic lose? Again, we're back to you're claiming these stories are fake. You're claiming this information is not true. You're claiming X, Y, and Z. Where? You need to show it. Otherwise, this is just you fucking chatting bullshit. Yeah, we're watching a reaction to a reaction. It's so bizarre that Fat Man's reacting to somebody who agrees with him. It's very bizarre. It's just like this idea of like just reinforcing. Like this just we're stating this thing and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna circle jerk reinforce the thing that we're not going to actually establish. We're not going to put in any actual fucking work. We're just going to state it and state this thing over and over and over again. And then he's going to take his video and restate this shit over and over and over again. Yeah.
Ignorant, us and I Stand With Vic only wanted one thing: the truth.
Yeah.
After all the digging, info swapping, and heavy...
Listen, I'm still in the I Stand With Vic camp because I'm like,
of course
you nigga do. And a lot of people were...
Because you don't understand and refuse to accept the facts of the matter. The facts of the matter is Vic Mignogna claimed that he was inappropriate with people. Under the rule of, under penalty of perjury, he claimed he did this. What else do you want? You literally have admittance. So if you have admittance, then everybody's opinion about him being an asshole, about these situations that he admitted to. He admitted to having an altercation with Monica, if I'm not mistaken. He just framed it differently than she did. That was Monica that was the hair pulling, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Or just like, oh, well, you can't handle the truth, and here's the truth. And I'm like, is that really the truth? Because you saying it, and I don't really know if that's the truth, right? But
Vic claimed under penalty of perjury in law. It was Jamie. Jamie had the hair pulling. Sorry, I apologize. Jamie. Was it Jamie? Somebody correct me. Which one? Who had the hair pulling? God damn it.
It's hard to take somebody's word for it nowadays because...
It's Vic's word. It's Vic Mignogna's word. It's Vic Mignogna's word under penalty of perjury that he approached a set of twins and took them back to his hotel room to solicit them for sex. Fans. People he believed were fans of his. Jamie was the hair pulling, Monica was the kiss in the hotel room and pushed onto the bed. Thank you, Mars Girl. Thank you. So, if I'm not mistaken, Vic Mignogna admitted to the situation with Jamie, but framed it differently than she did. So we know the thing happened. Unless both of them are making it up. Right? So if she's claiming this thing happened and he's claiming this thing happened, but they're presenting it contextually differently, right? Because she's saying this is inappropriate and he's saying, well, I didn't do it that hard and it was intended to be this thing, right? You still know the thing happened. Now it's a matter of you using your discernment to decide whether or not this thing that we know now happened was X, Y, or Z, or some amalgamation. But again, you weren't there. You're not the person who got your hair pulled. You're not the predator nor the victim in this case, regardless of who you think is the predator or who you think is the victim. But what we've got here is we've got a man who does not know how to discern anything. We're back to, he's sitting here claiming that it's just people on the internet talking, like there wasn't a deposition. So or is he just claiming that Vic Mignogna lied in his deposition? Because that's a pretty big claim. And I mean, the guy he's responding to was also already claiming that people falsified evidence. This, my friends, I would like to introduce you to the power of I'm so tired today. What is it when you're confronted with facts and your brain is like, no, I don't accept the facts. Shit. There's a word for this. No. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up because this is gonna drive me crazy. Whoa. Oh, come on. Not Dunning-Kruger, that's when you don't know enough. You think you know enough. Oh my god, hello, brain. Cognitive dissonance! Oh, thank you. I've been saved from my own brain. Cognitive dissonance, thank you. Yes. And a lot of times when you see somebody kind of going through cognitive dissonance is you will see them contradicting themselves. And that's what you see with Fat Man here. Fat Man here is regularly contradicting himself. He's saying it's not okay here and it's okay here. It's not okay here, but it was actually this thing. Or even if this was the case, then it's that. There'll be a lot of excuses. There'll be a lot of dancing around the issue and the actual point of the matter. And then a lot of like just kind of hand-wavy bullshit. Don't be surprised to see hypocrisy because but it's not like an intentional. It's very much a. There's a wall there. There's a brain block. Thank you. It's cognitive dissonance. Thank you so much.
Left and right, everybody's being sliced open, canceled, destroyed, right? Right after the whole Harvey Weinstein,
What canceled? The dude still has a following, he still has an audience, he still has dipshits defending him, and he still makes his own content, and has like this whole YouTube short thing now that he's doing. He's not silenced at all. He hasn't been canceled. At best, he got canceled from the internal investigation that happened.
The Me Too movement went straight into the gutter when a lot of women, at some points, not even in Hollywood, in like regular day-to-day, were just lying about niggas. So
where? You can't just make a statement like that. Where? I'm not gonna sit here and say that women don't lie and can't be predators, because they absolutely can be, and will be. But if you're gonna turn around and just say that because of the Me Too movement, a lot of women were all these women were just lying about shit that went on. Completely missing the irony of that was the point of the Me Too movement in the first place, that people didn't listen to women, and then using the Me Too movement as an excuse to continue to not listen to women. Just right over his head. I swear to God, if it was an anime, there would be like a little fire hole in his afro going right through the center. April for 11 months says, watch his posturing, hands in the pockets, looks away. Yeah, he knows he's being dishonest. He knows he's being uncomfortable. Like, he's self-soothing. He's doing that, like, that whole, I need to hold myself close body language. Yep. You're right.
So a lot of people were just looking at it as, you want me to take this shit serious? This? Really? Like, you gotta think about it.
Again, the lack of irony here is the lack of self-awareness of, like, whining and crying and stamping his feet like a toddler, demanding he be taken seriously while he's getting facts of the matter wrong, getting the point of the matter wrong, being dishonest in what he's presenting, as he circle jerks, reacting to a video that already agrees with him. Come on.
We're skeptical. Now, is that...
You want me to take this shit seriously as he points at an empty wall?
Oh, but that's your opinion to be skeptical. I'm like, I have to be skeptical. If I take your side on it, I don't know you from a hole in the wall.
No. Don't invoke skepticism. You're not being skeptical. You're in denial. Those are different things. I was skeptical. I presented a case where I was like, it doesn't matter if what these people are saying is true or not. It's his behavior regardless, because being objective about something is where you're able to check your agenda. This person cannot check their feelings. This person cannot check their agenda because, like this video said, there are a lot of people running around in this entire situation who are immature. They're not, like, all there when it comes to emotional or, like, behavioral maturity. When you can't even accept the fact of the matter that there is video and audio evidence of, that's you. That's not being skeptical. You have to accept these things. You might be able to interpret them differently, but you can't deny that they exist. Because if you're denying that they exist, then you're not being skeptical. That's the opposite. That's delusional.
The hole in the wall got rats in it, nigga. It's easy for me to step aside and be like, I agree. But then it's easier for me to step this way and say, hold on, wait a minute. What's the truth?
Be researching, we debunked everything. The real sicko this rumor spreader was talking about was Monica Rial's ex-boyfriend, a former Funimation employee that had sex with a minor and married her in LA. Monica says,
so what? No. So what? Assuming that's true. If I take your word for that, so what? That's just the genetic fallacy. Someone can be a bad person in one area, it doesn't absolve somebody else in this area. A liar could lie all the fucking time. That does not mean that this one thing is a lie. That doesn't mean they're incapable of telling the truth at all, ever. That's why you have to assess these things one to one. You might take somebody who lies 5 times out of 10 and say, like, okay, well, they lie 50% of the time, so you know what, I'm just going to assume that they're lying and not really take this person's word. But that does not break the camel's back in a situation where 17 other people are saying the same thing fucking happened. And it doesn't even necessarily mean you're correct to do so. Right? That's just not how these things work. Sorry? One person that's against Vic Mignogna also being an asshole doesn't absolve Vic from being an asshole.
Is that in 2000?
This is literally the definition of you can't handle the truth, April. You're 100% correct.
7 at IzumiCon, Vic sexually assaulted her in his hotel room and was saved by a door knock by Stan Dolan, the IzumiCon owner. The same owner that told the courts he would have remembered seeing a distressed Monica walking out of Vic's room and said if he knew they had beef, he wouldn't have invited them both back.
True. That's the bad part is like,
okay.
If I knew y'all had beef or y'all had problems, I wouldn't have y'all been anywhere near each other. And she's like, oh, but at ZumiCon, he did this. And everybody was like, oh, but see, there's your proof. But Stan said it. He's like, I would have remembered that. Like, he would say, I would have remembered that. But a lot of people was like, oh, but Stan can't remember, so it happened. I'm like, no. Did he say it happened? Or did he say, I would have remembered that shit? Like, come on.
Monica
You mean somebody who didn't see what happened behind closed doors doesn't know what happened behind closed doors? After agreeing that we don't know what happens behind closed doors? Because that's what I just heard. Am I wrong about that? Is that not what I... Did we not agree on that? The first stringers to the Vic stands make me sad.
claims she doesn't condone violence in any way, shape, or form. Yet her and Rondy avidly condone tortious interference. Monica Rial and
That's not violence, you fuck! tortious interference, which didn't happen. I went over that. There's another video if you want to learn about tortious interference. That didn't happen, is not them condoning violence and pretending that it is absurd. That's how you lose your argument. That's how you lose people from your side. That is being blatantly dishonest. Blatantly dishonest. That's the equivalent of somebody being stupid enough to compare being sent a driver's license that they didn't ask for, like somebody's ID that they didn't ask for, to like being assaulted and lacking consent and comparing it to rape. That's how ridiculous this is. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's a reference to something else, go check out the company videos. They're a lot of fun.
For 2 months called Vic a predator and threatened Chris Latosh, the owner of Kamehacon, that she'd convinced numerous VAs to cancel their appearance if Chris didn't breach Vic's contract and
Bro, that's blackballing. That's crazy. So you have some type of pull to tell a whole bunch of VAs due to the shit happening, you won't be coming to Kamehacon because of.
Yeah, if did you say did she say break Vic's contract, or did you put that in? Did she just say that me and a lot of other voice actors aren't gonna go because I'm gonna tell them Vic's gonna be there and none of us want to be around Vic, so we're not gonna go to your con? Because that's what that sounds like, and it sounds like you're putting a little bit of spin on that. Just a little bit of spin. Don't worry, we see you. We see you.
Vic Mignogna. Yo, you wildin'. You wildin'. And that don't really make sense just because of, oh, but he's a bad person. He's done this and this.
Yes. No, that makes complete sense. If me and my friends are going to a bar, and we go to this bar on a regular basis, and one of my friends gets treated like shit at that bar by somebody who is a regular patron or another patron of that bar, and I show up a couple of weeks later and I say, hey, listen, is this guy going to keep coming to the bar? Because if this guy's coming, I'm going to tell my friends that this guy's going to be here, and we're not going to be here at this bar. That is normal, healthy safety boundaries that friends do for each other. That's to be expected. They're allowed to not want to be there, and they're allowed to have the information and share the information among themselves about who's going. That's normal. That's regular. That's to be expected. The fact that you're trying to turn that into some kind of fucking conspiracy is absurd. You're silly. You're a silly, tiny, angry little man. Both of you. Are you so tied up in this because you're the person that people don't want to hang around? Is that you? Are you the person at the bar in the analogy? Are you the guy that nobody wants to hang out with, and so like the group of girlfriends will all be like, no, don't go around that guy, he's a creep. And then all the girls will be like, no, we're not, we trust our friend. No thanks. Is that you? Is that you? Are you, you're the guy who's like, I don't like these girls in my Magic the Gathering shop?
For real? You're gonna just say, fuck him and leave all the people who paid money to see ya at the convention hanging? I ought to slap a nigga. I waste my money then. And even if I go there to see Vic, I'm like, what up, Vic? I can't see the rest of the VAs I paid money for. Like, come on, bro.
cancel his attendance. Monocriel may not put a weapon in your face, but if it hurts your livelihood, she'll definitely go into your pockets. Monica keeps telling people...
That's not what that's about. That's about personal safety among her and her friends that are other industry members. Again, are you guys both, like, Olympic level gymnasts? My goodness.
On Twitter, he's hurt people and there's evidence. Yet she tells people her and her victims owe no one proof. It's classified.
Which means there's no evidence. But at the same time, she's...
No, that is not what that means. Classified explicitly does not mean there is no evidence. It means it's evidence that she's not sharing with you, that you're not entitled to, because they aren't the ones arguing this out in the court of public opinion. Vic is the one arguing this out in the court of public opinion, and he's losing, and he's lost consistently, so much so that he then chose to go to court and then lost consistently. We know that there's evidence of Vic being a creep on people, and that would be the harm. because harm is a very open-ended word. Did you not hear Vic Mignogna when he was like, please stop talking about this and making these types of videos and these kinds of comments? You didn't hear that? That's what we were talking about last time. No? Alright. They book people before selling the tickets. Yes, correct. Yes. They generally, one of the parts of advertising is that these voice actors are going to be there.
It's like, oh, this is private. There's no evidence. He really has done this. He's been a bad person.
That's not no
which
evidence.
A lot of people have asked. And if me asking for proof is wrong, somebody on the other side of the internet is going to say, oh, but she doesn't have to show anything.
You are an individual with already a bad reputation for being a dishonest asshole. Why would anybody show you anything? Let alone show you something in confidence. No, they don't owe you, the individual, anything. Should they share certain things in some aspects from a PR perspective? Maybe, perhaps, depends. I'm not in their DMs. I don't know what they are or are not doing. Because I'm not here to talk about them. I'm here to talk about Vic. If Jamie needs a PR person, then Jamie should get a PR person. If there's certain information that does and does not need to come out, great, fine. But it's at their discretion. And again, that's to the general, not to you, the individual. And like I said, even if they were lying about the entire thing and it was all a big conspiracy to take down the great Vic Mignogna, as if that matters, the internal investigation at Funimation is what did him in. You don't want to accept that, that's fine, but that's not their fault. And his ongoing behavior isn't their fault. That's him. That's his responsibility. That's his behavior. So stop trying to fucking whataboutism, point fingers at other people. It's his fault. It's his responsibility. It's his onus that he needs to take and deal with. Simple as that. Saying that asking him for proof is the problem. Well, that's the thing. They're sitting here being like, well, they didn't give us any proof, while making these generalized statements that are not coinciding with evidence or proof that they are presenting. They're doing the flat earther thing. I'm not going to present an argument. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to poke holes in your argument. So you have no argument. You have no point. Your whole point is nuh-uh. Like, okay. Call me later when this over $500,000 has been dealt with, and then maybe we can fucking talk. Remember that according to Vic's stance, warning those about Vic when he is invited to any conventions about his past action is harassment. Right, of course.
True. Now when the courts show up, when you go to fucking court, where's that evidence? Where's the proof? I'm looking.
Fundamental misunderstanding or dishonest understanding of what the court was there to do and what the court was there to decide and what evidence needed to be presented. Just because you don't understand, ignorance on your part doesn't mean everybody else is wrong. Sorry, you being a dipshit and not understanding what the fuck you're talking about isn't anybody else's fucking problem. And the fact that you refuse to educate yourself after this length of time and refuse to learn a damn thing is nobody's problem but your own. You're just making yourself look stupid. Sorry, you and the person you're reacting to, because I'm not nice enough to leave this other motherfucker out.
I'm looking, I can't find it because you fucking lying. You fucking lying.
Files a motion for TCPA, which protects freedom of speech and prevents discovery, which was one of the reasons why Vic was fired by Funimation in the first place. All the while, her 10-year-long friend and
Discovery? Vic was fired because of Discovery? It was an internal investigation. Fucking whatever.
fellow voice actor Chuck Huber basically told the courts, I don't know what the heck Monica and her supporters are talking about. Just like with the IzumiCon owner, if he had saw
Oh wow, these handful of people didn't know what was going on. Shocking. And is their entire argument hinged on we don't know? Is that really it? That's the best you have is and to know you? Like that's it? God, no wonder you guys all lost.
or heard anything, he would have sided with Monica no problem. Chuck Huber isn't some con owner Monica sees once or twice out of the year. Chuck has worked with Monica, Jamie Marchi, and Vic for over a decade at Funimation. And the reasons people from Funimation dislike Vic is because he's difficult to work with.
Cause that's fine. That's fine. Then just tell. Then why don't you grow some balls about his Christian faith? Then talk to the nigga.
What? What was that cut? Huh? What the fuck? Did you just say grow some balls about his Christian faith? What does it say? I believe Jamie Marchi would have mentioned the hair pulling incident if it had bothered her, since she is typically very outspoken. In addition, while Jamie Marchi, Monica Rial, and other Funimation employees often express animosity towards Vic, they never claimed he had sexually harassed or sexually assaulted anyone. Their animosity was primarily due to his personality, his sexual promiscuity, his Christian faith, and claims that he was difficult to work with. And this is from, I assume, Chuck Huber's affidavit? I assume? So, that's just, like, his opinion, though. That's not evidence. That's just him assessing from his point of view what it was. Again, this is exactly why fucking things like Me Too started. Because women weren't coming forward because of shit like this. In an industry. I don't know what to tell you.
You grow some balls about his Christian faith. Then talk
balls.
to the nigga to tone it down a bit. If you
No. It's not their job to do that. It's their boss's job to do that. If you're being religiously inappropriate in a workplace, then it's the boss's job to do that thing. And what happened when the boss did that thing? Funimation did an internal investigation and he lost his contract. You're demanding the thing happened, and now you're complaining about the thing. Because you refuse to accept the thing. Yeah, there's one more hearing coming up. So we'll see in a couple of days.
Cause y'all were all faking being friends, buddy. But when it comes to my religious side, just tell the nigga, yo, I'm sorry, but can you tone it down just a little bit?
The thing that he's saying right now is absolute malarkey, specifically because the thing that we just read on the screen says that they had open, known animosity towards Vic Mignogna. So how are they faking being fucking friends with him? This is a man problem. This is a man problem. This is the classic. The woman at work smiled at me. That means we're friends and she likes me. She was cordial with me and just generally had a friendly manner with working with me. Therefore, I thought she wanted my dick in her ass. Stop it. No. Stop. Just don't. Stop it, please. Stop. Cut it the fuck out.
And Vic will probably say, you know what? There's a time and a place, and that's on me. Just talk to the nigga. Oh, but his faith is too strong. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even 100% Christian, and I understand how it is. I got a lot of family members who believe in the faith hardcore. I can't deny them niggas, but I love them niggas. But I also understand that's how they follow and lead their lives. That's how he's been living his life for years. You can't change a man at a certain age when he's following his faith. He's already said.
Bullshit. You absolutely can. You can change faith, you can change opinions, you can grow and be a better person, or grow and change as a person as you get older. In fact, we tend to do that. One of the things that tends to happen to people when they get older is they get more stubborn, which is what he's referring to. Which, you know what that is? Someone changing. Becoming more stubborn over time is you changing because you weren't that stubborn to begin with. Either way, that's dumb as shit. What's the N-word count in this video, man? We should have gotten a counter. I didn't realize how much it was gonna be in here. I should have got a little ding going on. What percentage of Christian are you? We're really gonna have that kind of a conversation? Oh. Regardless, if they like, I don't know how you're getting to this Christian thing. I don't know where this is even coming from. Mr. Serious.
Set in his ways. But you could talk to him and be like, yo.
No, you can't. If he's set in his ways and he can't be changed, then no, you can't sit down and have a conversation with him because he's set in his ways and refuses to change. If you know that he's set in his ways and refuses to change, it also implies, by the way, that you've already tried to have the conversation. Can you pick a fucking lane? Can you think about the words that you speak for longer than 30 fucking seconds? Or at all? At all would be nice. Any amount of time, any amount of brain cells rubbing together to think about the words you say mean when it expounded upon in these sentences that are played in conjunction. Dear fucking God.
Brother, I love you, but can you pull it back just a little bit? Just a little bit? Come on. Be an adult.
His Christian faith, and because they think he's gay. They spent 10 years speculating on Vic's sexual preference because of his pants, yet never said nothing about.
He lives like in the 90s or the 80s, bro. Like this man's mentally, he lives in a really weird fashionista. Like a gay person dresses better than Vic. I know a lot of gay niggas who dress better than Vic. Shit, I dress better than Vic. And I don't even wear that many good shit. But I'm just gonna tell you right now, damn, like
about him being a predator? As you guys can.
Huh? What? The fuck? I don't even know what to. I don't even know what to do with this. I guess that's a whole new accusation on the table that I'm not familiar with, so I guess I'll leave it for now and not. I don't know about this Vic V actually being gay situation. I don't know what the guy's. Whatever, dude. I don't. There's nothing wrong with being gay. And not all gay people dress well. Like, stop with the gay stereotypes. It's kind of problematic. Like, I'm not sitting here assuming you have a big dick. Like, that's just rude. Don't do that.
Can see they did not like this man. You think they wouldn't have jumped at the chance the second word got out of any allegation back as early 2000? Monica and Jamie got.
No, because they didn't. These allegations and things around Vic Mignogna had been around for a long time. Just because you didn't know about them is not anyone's problem. That doesn't poke a hole in anybody's story. It's not the gotcha you think it is. It's actually indicative of the problems in the industry that Mewtwo was trying to address.
Got out.
True.
Why wait 15 years later for a random to start a rumor so they can come out publicly about their experiences and never thought to report to Funimation, much less Chris and Sean, who equally don't like Vic? Why start this tweet war?
And
because they might not trust those two either. And the investigation already happened. Stop bitching about the thing that happened. Oh my god. Although I do think it's accurate that Vic Mignogna's brain is stuck in the 90s. Like, mid 90s, maybe early 2000s.
I remember there's a conversation with Amazing Lucas. Sean even Mason Lucas is a big fan of Dragon Ball Z characters and voice actors. So I guess he had a one-on-one phone call. That's what he said with Sean Shenmue. Was like, yo, like, what's going on with the stuff? Sean Shenmue was like, honestly, I don't even know what's going on. And he doesn't know what's going on at the same time. But he's just backing up Monica just because that's how he does it. He doesn't know what's happening. And maybe...
So now hearsay of a phone conversation that allegedly happened is fine because you think it agrees with your point. Funny. Interesting. Weird how that works out that way, isn't it? Confirmation bias. Look it up.
Maybe Chris doesn't know, maybe Sean doesn't know, maybe Chris knows and Sean doesn't. But honestly, a lot of this shit was just crazy. And it's weird because...
Yeah, Sar, they're assuming that all of this started because of some random tweet that happened. That some random thing happened, but apparently it wasn't random because it was allegedly Monica's ex-boyfriend who has some kind of charges against him, but because they expect that you forgot about that already, they're saying that it was a random rumor, so it was all actually just a conspiracy, except that it wasn't a conspiracy and was actually this other thing. They're all over the place. It's all over the place.
We still don't know the truth, and there is no truth because it was just a whole lot of shit. And the man still lost his job, though, in my opinion.
So now you're complaining, after demanding that these people go to Funimation, you're complaining that the result of Funimation's investigation that happened because of the handover to Sony. What? Did you get a lot of swirlies as a kid? Did other kids, like, in high school grab you and shove your head in a toilet and flush it? Because I kind of feel like that's a thing that needs to happen if it didn't.
When people ask for context, you threaten them with your boyfriend in Homeland Security. How are you going to blame us for tearing the anime community apart and turning people against each other when you...
You're not. The anime community is just fucking fine.
You started all this in the first place. And Monica wonders why people are still attacking her. It's because she made an enemy out of the people who asked for context and made us look like the enemy when she herself spreads vitriol and plays victim when her and her friends get a taste.
True. I ain't gonna lie, it was very much true. Like, I was mad at these voice actors. I'm like, y'all a bunch of bitches. Like, just give people some answers and tell niggas, oh, Homeland Security, this, that, and that, FBI. I'm like, what does that gotta do with what the fuck I just asked? If you're an adult, you're gonna answer.
You know, when you go to court and you get the FBI involved in an investigation, you know what you tend to not do? Fucking give details. Because it interrupts and interferes with the investigations, you morons. Just because you didn't get the answer that you wanted, but got a reasonable answer that makes sense, doesn't mean anybody's doing anything fucking sketchy. That's just you extrapolating off of your already fucking hurt fifis. Dear God, this is pathetic.
The question. You're going to be a smart adult and you're going to move forward.
That's the answer was there's an FBI investigation ongoing. That's the answer. Where's the receipts from Rakita Law? How about you ask that question? How do you know that money actually went to go and help Vic Mignogna's case, considering how fudged it was? Don't you care about Vic? Don't you... No?
Asshole, we can all play the asshole game and just say, well, bitch, go fuck yourself.
At me.
Because if there was no proof, there was a whole bunch of shit going back and forth. A whole bunch of shit going back and forth, which is straight up a fact. And Vic took them to court over these accusations. Nobody took him to court. He took them to court.
Right.
Threatening us with your boyfriend.
Now elaborate. What does that mean? If he's the one who took them to court, what's the result of that?
What? Let me tell you something. There is nothing threatening about a man who strikes his wife just because she's trying to tell him to stop having her son hit her and you support that nonsense. This dude's a punk. Don't threaten us with a guy that can't even hold a marriage.
So they
Whataboutism. It doesn't matter if if Mr. Toei is a piece of shit. It doesn't matter. Also, you taking some random clip isn't gonna really do much to convince anybody. Even if he was, it doesn't matter. One person being an asshole does not absolve Vic from being an asshole. This is all blatantly... At this point, who's running the smear campaign? You want to sit out and be like, oh, well, I'm just defending Vic. Then where is your arguments about Vic? All this is pointing fingers at other people. Nuh-uh, has nothing to do with it. Completely irrelevant. Bang, objection, irrelevance. Boom, objection, hearsay. Boom, objection. It's just bullshit, Your Honor. I don't know what to tell you. God. All of these can essentially be summed up in four fallacies. Argument from ignorance, the genetic fallacy, whataboutism, and cognitive dissonance. I don't think cognitive dissonance is technically a fallacy. It's more of a result, but 3 fallacies in one event. Ongoing psychological state. Cognitive dissonance, and these 3 fallacies used to back up that cognitive dissonance.
There you have it. Affidavits from 3 witnesses that don't know what the hell Monica is talking about.
Okay, what about the other affidavits? You're gonna go through all of them, or just the ones you cherry-picked out that were in favor of Vic? Confirmation bias?
Revealed she condones tortious interference, and for the past decade, never once reported or told a soul at Funimation or made a police report about Vic's behavior. So the big question...
You have an unrealistic expectation of women calling the police on assault charges. You have an unrealistic expectation. If somebody pulls your hair and walks away from you, you're not going to call the police. If somebody slaps your ass at a bar, you're probably not calling the police. Does that make it not assault? No, it's still assault. It just means you didn't want to deal with the additional bullshit or didn't think it was worthwhile to do so. If somebody slaps your ass at the bar 17 times in a night, then maybe you're going to talk to the bouncer, or maybe you're going to call the police, or maybe you're going to do both somewhere between point A and point B. And if they keep coming back to that bar, eventually, and especially if you keep getting hit, you're eventually going to fucking stop going to that fucking bar, or stop going to any bar that has anything to do with this motherfucker. But you saying to the bar, hey, I'm gonna stop coming here, I really can't stand this guy, he keeps slapping my ass, and choosing not to be there anymore, is not indicative of the dude anything. If he comes to the bar and then is just like, well, she's just a piece of shit, but the other people in the bar kind of like her, he might get tossed out because they'd rather have her and her friends there than him. That's called pragmatism. There's a lot of different ways for this shit to go down. But yeah, no, people aren't gonna... Because what are the police gonna do? What are you expecting here? If some dude pulls my hair and I call the police, they're not even gonna fucking take a report. They're just gonna be like, okay, fuck off. What do you expect them to do? What do you expect them to have? Especially when you're in an environment that isn't going to believe what you said anyway. Like these fucking people are perpetuating. Why didn't you file a police report?
So she was lying the entire time. Like, that's the shit I said. This is the shit I said a long time ago in a couple videos way back. I said this. If Vic did any of the crazy shit that people are saying he did, why did you niggas? And a lot of people don't voice acted. Someone said...
I explained this to you last time we talked about this, and apparently you didn't fucking learn anything. The reason people don't call the police is because there's nothing that the police will do or can do in the scenario. And having the police not be called doesn't mean a thing didn't happen. That's not how that works. You're stupid. Stop being stupid. Just don't. It's not that hard.
I think a voice actor or Monica herself was like, oh, we've known about this for years.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, which means that thing you said earlier about nobody talked to anybody at Funimation and nobody knew anything about it. How did that internal investigation go? No, we're just skipping over that. We're just ignoring that, except that, oh, well, he lost his job over it, which means it happened, which means people knew and investigated, and the result was that he lost his contract. But that's not good enough for you. You literally can't even, you are so all over the fucking road that you can't even keep this fucking straight. They did the thing that you're asking for. There was an internal investigation. Lord.
Me, as in every voice actor, as in all of.
And yes, Alex makes a good point. Police are known to protect and perpetuate and be perpetrators of abuse, so they're less likely to take it seriously than the average person.
Of you niggas, first of all, if you've known about something for years, why would you not ever talk about it publicly?
Did. That's why we all knew about it, except for you, dipshit.
For now, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Especially,
you're not even talking about that people didn't talk about it. You're saying, why didn't anybody tell me specifically, the individual? Dude, how old are you? The reason I'm asking how old you are is because that might play into why you may or may not have known what was going on at the time. Because if you were like 13 or 12 when this shit was going on, it's likely that you wouldn't have heard about it, especially when you're not the target of the predator in this case. This is ridiculous.
If Vic was doing crazy shit to his fans or to other voice actors and other voice actors knew, you all pussy. You're all endangering people. You're all fucked up idiots. You are your biggest worst enemy. It's not this.
Stop saying nah you. You're the one defending the guy. You're the massive amount of people that were out defending Vic are the reason why victims don't want to come forward. Regardless of how horrific whatever the thing that happened to them was. You're the people that are sitting here demanding photo evidence and then claiming that you have photo evidence. You're the ones being like, well, why didn't you record what happened in a time period where people had fucking flip phones at best? Like, there was an entire fucking movement that happened about how cosplay's not consent because lots of people were being inappropriate and touching and like coming up to and being inappropriate with people wearing fucking costumes. There was a whole fucking thing. The fact that you don't know about that is your own ignorance. You can look it up. It was huge. It was a whole ass fucking thing. So believe it or not, because a lot of these types of things were well known, everybody was talking about it. Now you're complaining that it didn't come out early enough, but everybody knew about it except you. Do you ever think that you didn't know because you weren't looking? Or because you don't want to know? You're wearing blinders? No?
Nigga, it's y'all motherfuckers. And you're condoning him and never putting him in his place. If y'all knew about it for years and you never told.
You don't know who told whom what and where it went and if it was shut down when it came up, because that's a thing that happens often. You make waves in a workplace in a small industry that's already going to work against you. Well, you know, we saw what happened to Vic. So, go figure. Imagine that. Victim blaming.
Told anybody.
I wonder why nobody told
And now, suddenly now, I believe this just happened so he wouldn't work with them when Dragon Ball Super comes back, when Broly comes back, actually more into the forefront. I swear to you, I think that's why. They're like, oh, this is gonna get a series. It's gonna be brought back. Blah blah blah. It's gonna be another tournament. Broly's gonna be there. Well, we don't want Vic here, so bring in Johnny. And that's my theory. But honestly, it's the same shit that.
Based on what? Your theory is based on You think that they didn't want him to work with them in Brawley. Okay, cool. So what? So what if they didn't? So therefore they fabricated a bunch of shit? But what about the Funimation investigation? Why do you always forget that Vic also tried to sue Funimation? You focus super duper hard on these individuals, but completely neglect the fact that Funimation LLC is listed in the lawsuit. Fourth-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
I'm proven right and right again. If it's happened time and time again, don't y'all motherfuckers somehow, some way can prove it. Because 15 years, no proof? 15.
Nobody cares to convince you, though. Because you're not capable of having the conversation, as you can see from this video. As you can see from this fucking video that you're responding to. Because you're not questioning this video the way you're demanding to question other things. Maybe if you were consistent, maybe there would be a conversation that could be had about this. Maybe we could talk about it. Maybe we would be able to, like, walk through and point this out. But you can't even acknowledge things that happened. Facts of the matter. Can't even address the literal words that Vic Mignogna has said. You just pretend these things don't exist. What is anybody supposed to do? Why would anybody fucking waste their time trying to convince you of anything?
15 years, all this talk, and a whole bunch of convention goers is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on.
Question I'm sure the curious people who clicked on this video will most likely ask, if everything you've shown and say is true, then why did Vic lose the case? Trust me, I was shocked when I heard the reason too. So much that no matter what happens going forward...
You heard the reason. You didn't read it? You didn't read the conclusion of the case? Objection hearsay?
In the case, it won't reverse the decision, so further discussion on this would be pointless. Remember the 3 affidavits that I covered from Stan Dolan, Chris Latosh, and Chuck Huber? Well, according to the courts, they were invalid. The court document states that Vic withdrew the evidence he presented the first time he filed the lawsuit.
Yeah, we talked about that when we were first looking at that. That was really, really fucking funny.
Mind, he lost the first ruling, so now he's appealing the decision, meaning the evidence he withdrawn is now invalid according to the courts. He couldn't use it in his second amended petition. Therefore, without the evidence to prove that he was defamed, how the heck would his appeal have overturned the ruling?
Honestly, I did not realize that. So he lost the first ruling by taking away the information he had. That's bad. That's bad.
Yes.
Maybe he felt like it wasn't enough evidence or it didn't prove anything. Because
you don't know
the
why?
only reason you
would you like to know? Is because his lawyer's incompetency. That's why.
Would do that is if you feel like it's not strong enough to hold up in court.
Like
but your lawyer who's confident in you should be like, actually, this is valid. This proves a lot because they don't know what the fuck is going on.
But they're just affidavits, though. I thought he said that just someone's word wasn't good enough and wasn't evidence. So why are suddenly these 3 affidavits worth so fucking much? So when it's on your side, it's really important. But if it's against, like, it doesn't agree with what you already believe, it's not important. And invalid. Fucking Christ.
Going on. You don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't have any legs to stand on. This works because you have the 3 venuers, 3 people that know your whereabouts, that hired these people for events, and yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. Your lawyer, which if the
have you considered maybe actually looking it up before going off and speculating about a bunch of other shit? Because that seems pretty consistent for you. Maybe you should check yourself before you wreck yourself.
lawyer was strong enough, the lawyer would have been like, no, this is good. But it might not be enough for right now. We'll still need to look for something else, which is respectable. But that's not what happened.
If I have picture evidence of you hurting me and then I burn it and then come back with a copy, according to the courts, that copy isn't going to help the case because I already withdrawn the evidence that I've already shown. But you want to know...
Internet lawyers. What can I say? Definitely how that worked. Marsgirl said in the chat, they also faked signatures and could prove people weren't there to sign paperwork on the dates they were dated, which is why they took it back, so they wouldn't get in trouble for submitting it. I remember that. Me and Manya talked about that, like, when it, like, a couple months after it happened. We talked about that. Because we actually ran into another person who was doing that. He submitted to a court identical signatures that were supposed to have been signed by a different person who was drunk one of the times, so much so that he allegedly wouldn't remember signing it in places that they weren't. So, you know, identical. Yeah. Lawyers' incompetency.
You know the worst part about all this? The court documents state that because Vic Mignogna is a public figure, calling someone, in this case, Vic Mignogna, a sexual predator, falls within the broader principle that a speaker's individual judgment that rests solely on the eyes of the beholder and is mere opinion.
Doesn't make sense. Because
it doesn't make sense. Oh god, yeah, why? Why doesn't that make sense? Why is someone's personal judgment and speaking about their opinion on their behavior, which is public, not valid? Why does that not make sense? Please tell me. I can't wait to hear it.
Because they're all public figures. And if you call me something like this, I'm not just the one verified on Twitter. The rest of y'all are also verified on Twitter. Vic's not.
Being verified on Twitter doesn't mean anything anymore because you're just paying for it. But whatever.
I don't even think Vic is verified anymore. So at any point, I'm not just a public figure. Remember, this is before you could buy verification on Twitter. Anybody is a public figure if they got that fucking check mark. So it's not just him, it's also Jamie and Monica. So that doesn't make any sense. But is
this guy saying that being a public figure negates your right to have an opinion and just about other public figures? That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. You don't when you're a public figure, you don't lose rights. Like, there are some things that get reshuffled around, but Fat Man, define public figure. Can you define that for me? Because I feel like you can't. I feel like you don't know what that means.
This is basically saying is I can say anything to you as a public figure because at the end of it, that's just my opinion.
No, harassment can still happen against public figures. That's not how that works at all. You can't just go around saying to anybody whatever the fuck you want. There are still rules. This isn't Nom. There are rules. You still have to still has to be within certain constraints. Oh my god. The N-word is still a racial slur, my guy. Contextually very problematic. Oh my god. Oh my god. You notice that there's a problem here, right? Both of the people that we're watching right now have the same issue. They need to take a problem with literally everything that the court did and everything that was presented. And that's how you know you're dishonest. Because there are legitimate arguments that were being made, and you need to be able to acknowledge that they're a legitimate argument. And you can acknowledge that without agreeing with it. You could say that, hey, this is this, and that's fair, that makes sense, but I don't think it's applicable because. But no, they just have to take everything and then just immediately, just toss it out the window because, Unga Bunga, bad for Vic. They can't even take the things that Vic has said and acknowledge those. This is...
How the fuck is that opinion when Jamie Marchi says some wild shit about this guy online? Moving forward.
Basically, what that means is if someone from the CrossStack community makes a tweet that blows up saying that Memory likes to fuck plastic dolls because the character I made in BB Tag is man-made, and they damage my reputation and my sub count and revenue depletes, if I took their ass to court in Texas, I would lose my case too, because in Texas, calling someone a sex pest, a predator, an assaulter is not defamatory. Thank God
Why
I don't
not?
live in Texas.
Contextually correct. In this context, correct. Because Vic was not able to make his case. Maybe if Vic had a competent lawyer, he might have been able to make his case. Before I go, as an older black man, I hereby give permission. I give Chesh permission to use the N-word. Thanks. Thanks, Generic. Greatly appreciated. I'll just put that in a lockbox in my house and never take it out.
But seriously, I
Great.
doubt this appeal if
Which doesn't make any sense because they're talking. This is the one thing everybody was arguing about, and this is why I was in like a Twitter group arguing with a whole bunch of the same Kick Vic motherfuckers. Everybody's Ron, a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Shame Holmberg. I was arguing niggas. It's like it doesn't make sense. Oh, by court, it's an opinion. In Texas, or just in general? Oh, in general. I'm like, hell no, nigga, because I know.
Yes, there is a difference between federal laws and constitutionally protected rights and state laws. Those are different things. One supersedes the other in some cases, usually the majority of cases, but hey, you know, sometimes those things get changed and overturned, like Roe v. Wade, for example. For a very sad example.
Over here in New York City, you call me that, nigga, and if you try to, you can't prove it, I'm suing your ass. And the courts is going to be in my favor.
How do you know that?
because
I do not believe that you know that. Demonstrate that. Demonstrate that claim. I don't believe that you understand New York law. At all. In any capacity. Somebody tell Generic he has to come back. This bitch is talking about New York law. Can I pull that out of that lockbox? Oh, I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. It's just a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Wow, this is worthless in reference to Chesh's N-word pass. Yeah, amazing. This is worthless. I can't do anything with this. Why are they saying this? Because Vic's dick.
you was a bitch. But in Texas, it seems like, well, nah, it seems to be freedom of speech. Publicly, you know, on someone's opinion, but they're still using freedom of speech. But how? That doesn't make any sense. But I keep forgetting this. It's Texas. They weird. Texas is a little weird, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, but what do I know? They say
But
New York.
you just explained that it was a federal law. If you just explained that it didn't matter if it was Texas and would be applicable across the board, you can't turn around and be like, but it's Texas though, they're weird. What? You just contradicted yourself in this. Whatever.
Is another
Whatever,
creature.
I give up.
filed with all three affidavits would have made a difference, cause Texas court thinks tweets are harmless and any evidence proving otherwise is invalid cause everything these lying witch-hunting antagonists on Twitter said about Vic was mere opinion.
Which is corny to me. Because it really did damage and fuck up his reputation.
The
I don't.
thing that fucked up Vic's reputation was the way he handled it and his behavior. That's what fucked up his reputation. And the internal investigation from Funimation that you all keep fucking ignoring. And the things that he said that he did in his deposition. Those are the things that ruined his reputation. Not a handful of fucking tweets and a bunch of rejects arguing on fucking Twitter. How do you not get this through your skull? My God.
I don't think Vic Mignogna is ever going to be able to work for
Good.
Crunchyroll, which now rolled into Funimation. Or he'll work with
Good.
Viz Media again. Or he'll work with other brands again. But at the same time, he has now is working with his own anime studio. So I'm happy for that.
I
But
don't
what
know
I'm
how
not
long that's going to last with him owing $500,000 by the end of this, more than likely. Good luck. Good luck starting and running an anime studio with fucking negative money.
happy about is the fact that shit like this can happen. And tweets
Oh, are you
can
not caught up on that? When was this? When was this put out? January 18th. Ooh, that's not looking so hot now anymore, is it?
become very damaging to a person's career. If you pay attention long enough, you can find out what happens with that shit. Tweets become real fucked up if someone's online career gets really fucked with. And eventually, tweets don't just lead to just being Twitter fingers. People are weird and crazy on the internet. They will try to do shit.
Do things like make videos and wild accusations and purposefully misunderstand and misrepresent the law and be blissfully ignorant intentionally. Anime Matsuri Studio? Yeah, because that's going well? Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. Mwah.
Shit to you in person, and that goes a different story. I'm just going to be honest with you. So they may have ruled us out as opinion. I see it differently. But let's continue.
This is why I quit reacting to Rooster Teeth in 2019. Hate everyone that sided with Kick Vic, and look at my comments in anger, asking me to invest whatever time I got left on this earth, reacting to any content involving Rooster Teeth. I don't give a fuck how good the product or content is. If the creator is someone I don't approve of, their creations are of no value to me. I, just like Hirohei, moved on. I have a new...
Then why are you so cool? So you're endorsing Vic Mignogna. You're endorsing his behavior and the things that he claimed he did, including but not limiting to soliciting sex from twins, which is illegal, as well as putting his underwear on display, both accidentally as well as on purpose, being held by a Broly statuette, as well as being inappropriately touchy-feely with people, which he claimed that he did in a public posting that he put out years ago. So, that's all cool with you. As well as continuing and perpetuating like these hate campaigns and smear campaigns like what they're both participating in right now. That's all fine. Okay, I mean, all right, that's fair. I mean, you're allowed to do that. I mean, you look like a fucking idiot and a jackass, but you know.
Audience now, and I took up animation. Hirohei has 500,000 subs now and is continuing his news reporting content.
Shout out to Hirohei.
As for Vic, he got what he wanted in the end. Anime Matsuri created their own anime dubbing studio with Vic. In 2 movies they got rights to. Not only is Vic able to continue
this has aged like milk.
His work, but now he can meet his fans again and continue giving attendees an awesome experience meeting the voice behind their favorite anime characters.
So basically, he didn't lose anything, but he did lose big time. You can't lie about that.
So to everyone in I Stand With Vic, pick your heads up if they're down. Vic is alive and continuing to do what he loves. That's more than enough for me to stop talking about this controversy and hope for the best in Vic's new journey.
More than enough for you to stop lying about the controversy. Fix that for you.
With Anime Matsuri. And to everyone at Kick Vic, the next time you feel like canceling someone, do it with facts.
I mean, I have, but I don't care about canceling Vic. Never did. Not my concern. I think it's good that he's losing work. I think it's good that he's not being applauded or his poor behavior is not being encouraged or enabled by people. I think that's good. I think that the man needs to fuck off for a while and do some self-reflection, and then maybe he can come back. But I'm perfectly fine, and I think it's good that society is no longer being acceptable of things like this.
The whole Vic Mignogna controversy and drama has kind of taken the anime community by storm, negatively, positively, nigga, however you want to think about it, and it's split everything down the middle. And it's still split everything down the middle. People still want the truth, which I like my boy's video there. He killed that shit. Go check out our channel, like and subscribe, right? Honestly, from where I stand and where I'm at, I respect Vic for that he keeps on trucking. Personally, I hope the drama has ended. We really don't know if it has, because if you think about it, I'm not Vic. I can't really talk about it.
I can't really talk about it, he says after making a 30-minute video. There's court stuff. There's still more court stuff. There's still at least one more hearing to go through. So, if you want the drama stuff to be over, stop doing the things.
Say much about it Because honestly, it's still gonna keep happening. And don't get me wrong, I got into a fucking head-to-head argument with somebody. Not even argument with somebody. I got into like a beef. I can't even call it beef because you can't take me on, bro. You can't take me on. I'm just that cool of a nigga. I'm that nigga. But besides going head-to-head with somebody, to be honest,
he's literally untouchable. You can't even see him. Ba, ba, da, ba. Okay, who'd you get in beef with?
to be real with you all, Vic Mignogna is still in the game, which is true. Celebrate the man while he's here. He's still grinding. He's got an anime studio. They're making voices. They're doing his thing. He's still here making his money. Does he still want to sue? Does he still want to come back? Does he still want to try to win because he feels like he's still right? Yeah. That's the hard part, though. Proving, once again, that you are right. That's the part. And, once again, proving that the other side is kind of wrong on that. You're going to be real with yourself and be real with everybody else. It's not looking too good.
Being a hypocrite is not being real. Ignoring facts is not being real. Not being able to actually address anything is not being real. Unless you're just really a baby. Like just throwing a tantrum in your... Hey, there's more stuff in the background now. I don't know, I kind of preferred it an empty room. I like the analogy. I like the metaphor. Sorry, not analogy. I like the metaphor of this man just screaming into his empty room. Challenge accepted. Do I get a trophy if I make him cry by the time I'm done with him? Hey, Alex, if you want to try and set up like a debate or discussion with this dude, I'm more than happy to host it. I'll hang out and if you want to try. Oh my goodness. If it was an in-person thing, he's probably lying and lost that argument. Oh, are you suggesting, Blue, that he's talking about a discussion, an argument, and a beef he had with the shampoo bottle in his shower? That the argument he had in his head.
Honestly, it's over. It's said and done. And kick Vic, and I stand with.
As of this video, it was not over because we were still waiting on the paperwork that I just looked at, as well as there's still another one. So it's, as of this video, still not over yet.
Vic, it's over. It's over. The man technically still won. Yes, he didn't win in the court case, but he's still working, still making his money, still grinding, still going to conventions. You can't stop that.
I thought your complaint was that he wasn't getting work, that he was being defamed and kicked out of the community. If that's not what's happening and he's doing fine, what are you upset about? What the fuck? Also, Sar asked, what are the chances that Vic is hiding in the vent in the top right corner of the room? It's just like a little Vic Mignogna being like, yes, work for me, child. Winning. Winning $500,000 debt.
Nigga, you can't stop him. You won't stop him. Just is what it is. He'll keep on grinding, working, is what it is. What's next comes from, I guess, all...
Yes. This is definitely not low-tier, lazy content, and definitely not performative.
All of that.
Sure.
All of the good stuff. Now, to me, personally, do I take all of this differently? Do I see any of this differently? Do I see any of the people, the arguments, the conversation differently? No.
No. See? No, you don't. Because you won't learn anything. Because you won't educate yourself. Because you don't... You want to pretend to care while maintaining, regardless of whatever you are shown and whatever is presented to you. You don't care. You believe Vic Mignogna, but then try to make arguments for him while falling flat on your fucking face because you will never change your mind. Because you can't change your mind because you're immature. That's an immaturity thing. Of course no. Of course the answer's no.
Differently. Do I see any of this differently? Do I see any of the people, the arguments, the conversation differently? No, because niggas really believe this man was scum or he was a monster. He was the devil incarnate. Niggas really believe he was a bad person.
Where did anybody say that? I believe that people think he's a bad person and a piece of shit, but I feel like you're exaggerating.
Person to his core. I don't know.
And?
I met the guy a couple times. He seemed pretty okay to me. He seemed pretty chill to
Skippy
me.
for you.
Yes, he's an actor.
The devil, you know, definitely not known for deceiving people into thinking he's a good person. What the fuck kind of analogy is this?
Nigga, so am I. Everybody can be a fucking actor. But there's no way you can act for the rest of your life lying to yourself and lying to others, and you're living in a loop of
The projection, the self-aware. My dude, my guy, you are saying this unironically. Oh my god.
I met the guy a couple times. He seemed pretty okay to me. He seemed pretty chill to me. Yes, he's an actor. Nigga, so am I. Everybody can be a fucking actor. But there's no way you can act for the rest of your life lying to yourself and lying to others, and you're living in a loop of a lie, and eventually things spill out. Things happen. And nothing happened. Yeah, he lost a court case and it was ruled as an...
Nothing happened. Yeah, he lost his job. He lost his court case. He has to pay likely over $500,000. You're talking about you. And what do you mean nothing happened? If nothing happened, you wouldn't be here bitching. Jesus fucking Christ. This is self-deception. Actively. You literally said you can't keep lying to yourself and then immediately told a lie that nothing happened and then immediately said, except for all these things that happened. The call is coming from inside the house. Hello? Hello? Fucking... I reject your reality and I will replace it with my own.
Opinion. Other than that, he's still making his money. He's still grinding. Does he still want justice? Yeah, we all do. But at the end of it, it came out of nowhere for a lot.
If you want justice, then going through the court system in this manner is not the way to get it. That just civil court is not a justice thing. It's a resolution thing. But of course you don't know the fundamentals. You don't understand the basics. Yeah, thank you, Coping 101. Jesus fuck.
A lot of us, and just like you and I, we've moved the fuck on. I've definitely moved the fuck on. But I like to talk about this because it really shows you how crazy the anime community was. How crazy.
I'm gonna press X to doubt on that moving on thing. Feel free to drop an X in the chat.
The voice acting community was. How wild this was because it came from just not... It was no longer online. It was throwing in people's lives. Like, people really were going hard for this man and trying to find out what's happening. Me, myself included. I wanted to know what was going on. But sometimes you just never know, personally. But let me know what you think in the comments below. This is a long video, and apologies, I'm sorry. But let me know what you think in the comments below. It's your boy Fatman. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, be notified. And from me to you, remember to never give up, never surrender, and keep on grinding. Now, I'm gonna leave this off.
Bitch, did you just quote Galaxy Quest at me?
One more thing. Let it go. The bullshit with Vic, the bullshit with Kick Vic, the bullshit with all of the arguments and all the fighting, let's let it go. Personally, let's let it go. Unless this man Vic comes back with a motherfucking straight vengeance, I'm gonna be there to talk about it. And it might be funny. It might be funny. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? He won. He won, technically. Technically, a win is a win. A win is a win, and you's a bitch. Know who you is. Know who you is. Nigga.
Shit. What the fuck?
Gambit on drum.
Huh? Yes. A win. Oh, a win. A win is a win. Apparently, a win on technicality is totally fine if it's in Vic's favor. But I still don't know what the fuck is supposed to be in Vic's favor. Okay. Well. Boy. Well, I guess, like, the amount of copium he's huffing there, I wonder how addictive copium is. I imagine considerably. I'm gonna put the resources and links in the description down below. What is a win? What does the word win even mean? Like, I mean, who really knows, am I right? We'll be back in a couple of days. We've got actually, if Mars Girl's still around, we've got her coming on Saturday. Actually, I was gonna message her today to find out, because we're gonna be talking about localization, because there's been a whole lot of shit going on about that, and I was interested in talking about that. So me and Landon, who is, for anybody who doesn't know Landon, he's a physicist, mathematician, astronomer. I think he goes by astronomer right now. Who is a smart dude. So Landon's going to be coming on and talking to me and Mars Girl about localization, if she's still amicable to that. We won't be talking about Vic stuff. So if anybody wants to hear Mars Girl talking about Vic stuff, I recommend checking out her Twitter. But we're going to be there. That will be on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, the 10th. But we also will be back to check out the next filing, which will likely be the Jamie filing, the Jamie hearing. We'll see the results of that, and watch Vic win more, because watching Vic win is one of the most amusing things I've seen in a while. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. That was interesting. We'll see if this. I guess we'll check in on Fat Man again, maybe, depending on how it's going. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Oh, bye-bye. Oh, brother.